I was supposed to be. I have to call her and apologize.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to We Believe Digital Studios, Jackson, Mississippi, for our Monday night Sizzling in Mississippi show, Black Woman and White Man at the Crossroads. And we're just delighted to be here now. We're working on our second year of every Monday night. We've got a pretty good record. Me and my co-host, my Auntie Joan Prim. Good evening.
Good evening, Chris.
We got a pretty good record. We missed some times here and there, but
End of seasons.
yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
around the holiday, Christmas holiday,
Right.
and all.
Right.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So just delighted to be back with you, and just a plug for this studio. Really making strides to elevate this black-owned, black-operated studio here in Jackson. Call us if you have any questions, like to be part of things. We would love, if you've got an idea for a podcast, we'd love you to do it here. The price is right. And give us a call anytime, 800-492-5186. Talk to one of our producers, our general manager, even our CEO here. And maybe we could work something out. Maybe you've got a product or service you want to move along the line a little bit, and we can provide advertising for you, all kinds of filming options, not only here in the studio, but remotely around the city, around the area, whatever you need to help your idea along. Please give us a call. We'll be so happy to help you out. And we thank you if you're joining us in the chat tonight. And we've got quite a list of things tonight, but we might as well just jump in. Yesterday we started Ramadan,
Okay.
Ma'ati. And I've been reading, and I was just trying to think what that must be like with this active war going on, in Gaza, and the Israelis were attacked October 7th. By many reports, they lost 1,200. Some people were killed, but now we're over 31,000 Palestinians that are killed, and what that must be like, in the middle of a war over there. And now Ramadan comes along. So many people, it seemed, were hopeful that the hostilities could cease before Ramadan started, but it hadn't happened.
War is just a horrible way to try to come to an understanding or an agreement. It just doesn't seem to work.
Yeah.
It's war after war after war. It's tragic, and so many innocent lives are sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that any war is really worth it when it comes down to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just says so much about the value of human life, and between religion is so tied up in all that.
Yeah.
I mean, these Hamas people, they feel a certain way. Obviously, Palestinians and Jews feel a certain way, and to have all that going on, it's just, I just hate waking up to it another day.
Yeah. There should be some way to coexist, but I'm sure that war is not the answer here.
Compromise, just lost. And I was reading about this mosque in Jerusalem. Uh, oh boy, Alaska mosque, revered by Muslims in Jerusalem.
Okay.
The very same thing as what the Jews refer to as Temple Mount.
Okay.
Very same location.
Okay.
And so here we are in Ramadan, and there's special services that go on, that folks migrate, tens upon tens of thousands of people migrate to this site, to this compound, to pray and have ceremonies and respectfulness and all, and now they don't know if they're gonna even can allow that to happen. Because the different factions in Israel, some far to one side, some far to the other. Some people say, yes, let it continue, let the observances continue, and it'll be fine, they'll work it. Other people say, oh, no, no, it's way too risky to do that. Something could break out,
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, war. It's
Yeah.
it's just war is just a horrible event. It's just horrible.
And that's a long way away from us right here in Mississippi. In Mississippi, we've got things going on. We were just talking before coming on the air about these education-related bills. There's a zillion of them, and the one that's getting the most press right now is supposed to be a replacement for the Mississippi Adequate Education Program. That was a funding formula set up in 1997.
Yeah.
Apparently they've used it 4 times, but only fully funded it 2 times since 1997. I mean, just bizarre. And now they're talking about scrapping that and coming up with this new thing called, the acronym is INSPIRE, investing in the needs of students to prioritize impact and reform education. I don't know who thought of that, but okay. But apparently there was reading a Mississippi Today article today about apparently they want to scrap this other system, but they're using all the numbers that the other system utilized to come up with their, and then you see articles like, well, this could mean $240 million more for public education. Why is it when I see that, I'm just not, I don't, now I'm not over there. I'm not reading every word, but my gut is telling me, there's a fox in the hen house here.
Yeah. No, it's Republican-led, and the Republicans have not crossed the aisle to hear from the Democrats, to come up with something that really addresses the education problem in Mississippi. And the education problem in Mississippi is that Mississippi is last in education. And it just rides the bottom year after year after year. And if education is going to improve in Mississippi, then there needs to be a consensus. And we need to hear from a number of different people. Republicans need to cross the aisle. Democrats' voices need to be heard. The community needs to be heard. And we need to look at the objective being really to improve the education system. But the truth of the matter is that I don't think Mississippi really wants to do that anyway.
I don't get that impression.
No, never have. It's not valued here. Excellent education systems are not part of the value system.
And yet we have plenty of scholars here.
Okay.
I mean, we have plenty of very learned people here in Mississippi.
Okay.
And then we have all kinds of, young scholars that, I was up at an event at Tougaloo a couple of weeks ago, and to hear some of the, to hear some of these young people speak,
Yeah.
and I'm saying young people, sophomore, juniors, seniors at Tougaloo, um, these are young professionals.
Sure.
They ready to hit the road. They ready to roll.
Yeah. And they'll probably roll right out of Mississippi once they graduate.
They could
Yeah.
do just that.
There's not a lot of opportunity here for them.
So, we just want to let you guys know that all this is going on. Of course, other people are sharing about this. And also, there we go. The League of Women Voters, of which I'm a member, seem to have a very clear vision on things, and they put out a concern list, and I guess it dovetails this one down at the bottom, HB's bills. It kind of dovetails in with that Inspire Act, that other education-related bill. So HB 867, looking for all this data, collecting data when people are moving around and transferring, which you would think that that would probably be available anyway. But when I see a bill come out like that, looking for that information, especially in light of a voucher program that was announced,
Right.
I just get suspicious. And when I see who's putting the bills up, again, I get more suspicious. There's another bill that the League of Women's Voters had said, please vote no to these three. So HB 867, then 1192 about a virtual public school program, creating innovation districts. And again, we're right in the heart of talking about funding.
Right.
And yet, and is somebody thinking that, if you're doing things virtually, that it doesn't cost as much? I can't help but wonder when I see these things on the table at the same time.
Right.
Wonder about their motivations.
Well, I mean, we know that virtual education is something that has been suspect. It's been a challenge for students in terms of their socializing skills and in terms of the quality education that they should be receiving. We saw that during the height of COVID, that children just weren't learning as well. We also know that during the summer months when children are out of school, that there's a type of intellectual lapse,
Yeah.
and so we know that really isn't a viable program, but yet and still they're pushing it.
They're pushing it, and then there's the last one of the three that the League of Women's Voters said, please vote no, is House Bill 1449, create the Mississippi Student Freedom Act, establishing what they call Magnolia Scholarships accounts. And it's just bizarre that so this, we've talked about this before about kids, if your school is got a bad letter grade and you want to move up, you want to move to a better place, they're going to look for some outside grantor to provide money that can then be put in these scholarship accounts, and people can make the switch. I don't have all the details of that in front of me right now, but I trust when the League of Women Voters says no to all three of these, that they don't do that by accident.
Right.
And maybe Nancy Loom, I believe her name is. She's the executive director of the Parents Campaign, and they got a lot of questions about this Inspire Act. Mm-hmm. And she was on Byron Brown's program, mm-hmm. Mississippi Insight, over the weekend on Sunday, and really raised an awful lot of questions about how they're going about this, and my gut says they're trying to find ways to demonstrate progress while spending as little as possible.
Yes, and I'm sure that they really don't want progress.
Okay.
I think that Mississippi is all about oppression and regression. I really
Yes,
do.
yes.
When you look at the statistics, I think it's no accident. They can't, decade after decade, end up on the bottom for everything good.
Yeah.
You know?
And she said something, Mati, about accountability. She indirectly, well, softly
Mm-hmm.
intimated that accountability may be involved with some of this because apparently a lot of those legislators have been getting a very bad rap
Yes.
with the not funding the existing program.
Okay.
So she had her antenna up on this
Yes.
as a way to avoid accountability to the public.
Okay.
Sheesh,
Yeah. Well, they don't like accountability.
they do not
They
like
they
it.
really don't at on the state level for sure. Yeah, it's just not there.
Well, let's go ahead and we're right at the first break. We're probably two parts tonight, two 20-minute parts, so we're just about a minute or so away from the 20-minute mark. So let's go ahead and dip out for a couple of commercials, and then we'll be right back with you for the second part.
Are you dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, but you're not sure where or how to start? At Entrepreneurs Academy 101, our online program will guide you step by step on how to start and grow your own business. We offer courses such as how to write a business plan, how to create a budget, and so much more. Our online training program is designed for you to learn at your own pace, and there's no set order to complete this program. Because our academy is online, you have the choice to learn with a group, with friends, or individually. Upon completion of the entire curriculum, you will receive a certificate of achievement to acknowledge that you have completed the training needed to become a successful entrepreneur. So enroll today to design the life that you love. Contact your entrepreneur coach, Brenda Myers, at 601-672-0695 or visit our website at www.entrepreneursacademy101.com for more information.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, was tied up on the screen. I just see a little headline there from WLBT about John Horn, critical of the water system takeover bill. He said we're hollowing out Jackson.
Yep.
So, and really, that was the next thing on our list. That Senate Bill 2628 that Mati and I have spoken to you about numerous times. It's out of committee. They sent it to the Accountability, Transparency, and some other name on that committee. It's out of the committee and waiting now on a floor vote in the Senate. And now there's that headline with John Horn talking about being critical. So I don't know if they've already just had the vote today or it's coming up very soon, but we're still waiting for that. And the latest iteration was that the state, the state, and they're going to use Department of Environmental Quality. They're going to use them as the middleman with the money, and so they're going to give DEQ the money to try to buy the water system, and anytime money needs to be spent, it'd be spent from MEQ.
Okay.
And again, I don't see any for sale sign in this on the city of Jackson, but
Because Jackson's being robbed.
it's theft. They're doing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
These privileged people and the people write the bill not anywhere near this area, and they just march in. And just remember as they do this Capital Region Utility Act,
Yeah.
this SB 2628, do we hear of any northern region Do we hear of any southern region utility acts going on where they're taking major water systems and nowhere else? They call it the capital region, but it is the Jackson water system. You read that bill, it makes me go blind and go to sleep reading it. But it doesn't talk about anybody but Jackson. They're just after that asset, and think of the shape when the federally appointed third party manager, when they finish their work and say, okay, here you go, here's the keys to the plant, that's going to be in a better position, improved, upgraded, and probably in a position to be more profitable than ever before. And that's what they want. They want that, and then they want to strip black leadership.
Right. Well, I think what they want, first and foremost, is to strip the leadership here in Jackson, which is black. I think that's their primary concern. And then comes the money.
Yeah.
But this is what they do. You know, it's a new Jim Crow regime method that they're using. Just make Jackson poor. Just force us into an impoverished situation. We're going to look like the Delta. We will look like the Mississippi Delta. That's it. But the people have to stand. The citizens of Jackson have to stand and say that we won't take this, we won't tolerate it. But until that happens, it's a yard sale.
Well, I'd love to talk more with you about that, because I got this question that's been really nagging at me, and you've been down here so much longer, and you even knew about this area long before you even moved back down here as a grown-up and all, and so your perspective is invaluable. But while I got it right here on the screen, there are some precinct changes for tomorrow. It's a short list, but here it is. So if you are in District 1, Precinct 46 has not changed location, however the name changed. Formerly Christ United Methodist Church, now called Christ United Jackson. That's Precinct 46 in District 1. In District 2 in Raymond 1 was formerly Raymond United Methodist Church, and is now going to be at the Belmont MB Church on Highway 18 in Raymond.
Missionary Baptist.
Yeah, and in fact, I almost went down to Natchez to hear the Missionary Baptist Assembly is having a gathering down. I almost went down there, but I couldn't stand I didn't want to call you and tell you let's not do the show.
Okay.
So also District 3, Precinct 59 was formerly Word of Life International, and now Precinct 59 in District 3 has shifted to Black's Chapel on Robinson Road. And lastly, District 4, Byram, formerly Trinity Wesleyan, will now be at Lake Shore, 6880 South Sywell Road. There's another Raymond 2. I told you about Raymond 1 earlier, but Raymond 2 was formerly Hines Community College Meat House, and is now Belmont Missionary Baptist Church. So in other words, both Raymond 1 and Raymond 2 will be at Belmont. But Monty, what do you say when, what do you say? We end up talking all the time about the turnouts, the numbers.
Right.
Here we got these primaries tomorrow.
Right.
Polls open to 7 to 7. We want everybody possible to get out there.
Right.
Saying that, we know that's not going to happen.
No.
So last night I was talking to a gentleman and he said, well, Chris, if the incumbent's not serving you, and the incumbent before that wasn't serving you,
right,
and the incumbent, what hope do you have that no matter what they say, that it's going to be different this time?
Right. We tend to vote for the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
But when people really aren't seeing any type of change from official to official, it creates a sense of hopelessness. And because of that, people won't get off the porch to vote. And that's why.
And that's the problem.
Yes.
And if you had a magic wand,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and could speak into everybody's ear, say the what 60+% of folks that are not voting,
Right.
or didn't in the last election, let's
Right.
say,
Right.
if you could whisper into those ears, what would you whisper?
I would say your non-participation makes Mississippi scarlet red.
Mm. Mm.
You know, there's Mississippi shouldn't be. Mississippi should be at least purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. It's scarlet red because the people are not engaging. But they're not engaging not only in politics, but really other ways. They're not engaging in protest. They're not engaged in improvements that the citizens themselves could make to Jackson. It's just not there. It's just a sense of apathy and hopelessness.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't believe that this is going to be any better than what it is.
Thank you for sharing that, because I just well, you just have a far more experienced voice, and I just because it doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make sense to me, and but the way you said that, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, let's pray tonight.
Yeah.
Let's pray. We've got so tomorrow, polls open 7 a.m. So please, everybody, these are the primaries. You're going to see the president on there. You're going to see the state representatives on there, and more. So please go out for that. We got some news. Something was posted a couple of days ago from Lexington, Mississippi, Monty. And we've talked to our audience so many times about the deeds going on up there, and the work of the attorney Jill Colin Jefferson with the Julian organization. And are you able to see that clearly?
Yeah, it's kind of tiny, but
Or even if you just
Yeah.
outline who the letter came from and who it was to, and then her remarks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. This is coming from, okay, Catherine Barrett Riley of the Barrett Law Group in Lexington regarding urgent, serious concerns arising in our ongoing pattern our practice investigation of the city of Lexington and the Lexington Public Department.
Yeah.
Right. And this is something that came from the U.S. Department of Justice. So Lexington is being investigated for its ongoing pattern of racist politics and racist policing.
And that attorney, that black woman attorney, Jill Colin Jefferson, she experienced it right on herself. Just saw a traffic stop going on, pulled off the side of the road, pulled out her cell phone, and boy, them cops didn't like that. And next thing you know, that woman spent 2 nights in jail. And she posting essentially that, things have been kind of tight-lipped to this point. An investigation was announced, but there was no. But now that she posted this letter that she got a hold of from the DOJ to the city of Lexington attorney, confirming the fact the investigation is going on. And so we want to keep a close eye on something like that. We have made so many efforts to try to get Attorney Jefferson on our show, but it just hasn't materialized. We're going to keep trying. We think it would be great to have her firsthand knowledge of all this and be able to share, with our audience and maybe even the work of her organization, Julian, and what they're doing. So hopefully we can make that work out. 6 attempts so far have been unsuccessful.
Yes.
And also wanted to share the with the audience too that there's an article in the Mississippi Today from about a week ago, 6 days ago, entitled "Felony Jail Time Could Await Law Enforcement Officers Who Sexually Abuse Detainees, Parolees," is under a House bill. So there is a bill now, and this is whew.
Right. But who introduced it?
Yeah, but I mean, if it's something,
yeah. But if it's introduced by a Democrat, it's going nowhere. It's dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excellent idea to protect women from assault and harassment and abuse, but if it was introduced by a Democrat, it's dead.
I'm going to bring it for next week. I just copy that bill number down, and I'll put that on the list for next week. We can look more at it.
Okay. Our only hope is that a Republican would have submitted this.
Yeah.
But they may feel it doesn't look good for their law and order stance, but we'll see.
Right. And the last thing on our list is a reminder that there have been rallies in Jackson, and I believe on the Gulf Coast there was one. These Mississippians for Palestine human rights rallies, and there will be one on Wednesday morning, not tomorrow morning, but the morning after that at 9 o'clock at the South Steps of the Capitol. So petitions are going around. There's hundreds of signatures that have been collected. Every time they swoop through and get signatures, they forward those signatures on to our representatives, both the Mississippi senators, Wicker and Cindy Hyde
Smith.
That's the one. Yeah. And then also the congressman, our Congressman Benny Thompson, and then the 3 other congressmen in Mississippi. They get sent that, and these change.org petitions, so you can put your name in there and put your email and push the submit button, and basically telling them that please figure out a way to get a ceasefire, that just this loss of life of these Palestinians is not acceptable. So just to let you know that rally's going on, South Steps of the Capitol, first thing Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. And if you want to go to Mississippians for Palestine website, Twitter handle, Instagram handle, MS4, the number 4, Palestine. You could sign those change.org I'm forgetting the word, the documents. The
petition?
Thank you. The petitions. Thank you. Monty, anything else on your mind for tonight?
Well, like you said, the voting being that tomorrow's Tuesday, and it's a day that many people have fought for inclusion. Many people went to jail, have been beaten and abused, some even murdered, for the right to vote.
For the right to have a voice.
To have a voice. And I don't think that we can take that lightly. I think it's something that needs to be honored and respected, their efforts.
There's people out there that are hoping we take it lightly.
Yes.
There's people out there that are just looking like, like with this water thing with Jackson, just waiting to pounce.
Yeah.
They wait till you're in your weakest spot.
Yeah.
That's
how they always do it, yeah.
I got an article coming up this week. I won't go into any detail, but let's put it like this. They never got around to that Gospel of Luke, I don't think, with that Samaritan. They all call themselves Christians, these oppressors,
Yeah.
but they don't live the teachings of Christ. How would you do? You wait till a city. You don't offer any help. You slight them financially whenever possible. The water system crumbles, bring it right to its knees,
Yeah.
and then what are you doing? You're trying to take it away.
Yeah.
But not right this second, after it's been all prettied up
Yes. Yes.
and back to maximum profitability, then they want to take it away.
Right. Yeah.
Bad. These are like the Levite and the priests on that road from Jerusalem to Jericho. They're just not right. So anyway, and it's stuff like that that is why we're sizzling in Mississippi, just this backward thinking. Joni, I'm sorry, get me going. But that CEO of Mississippi, the one that just got reelected,
Yeah.
is he on your Christmas card list? Do you know that man was texting late at night after the State of the Union, and he was about the Medicaid expansion. He is still holding firm, even though there's evidence
Yes.
that there's people in that Capitol, they don't want to be hearing about this no more.
Yes.
Let's find a way to make it work.
Right.
And P.S., the eyes finally open and they realize that billions of dollars are going to come our way
Yeah.
if we just do that. And that's going to help in the job market. That's going to help in the hospital infrastructures, ability of services,
Yes.
hopefully medicine in rural areas.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Delta
Right.
earlier. And
Lives will be saved.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think they finally wisen up to that, but not him.
No.
And I just and he mentions putting more people in his tweet. It mentioned putting more people on the welfare rolls. And I told him, that he was horribly wrongheaded and that he needed to keep that word welfare out his mouth because he presides over the second highest debtor state in the nation. So what's that all about?
Right.
He's talking about cutting taxes
I know.
when nearly 50% of the state's revenues come from the federal government.
Right.
And you got the
Be nice.
nerve,
Yeah.
privilege,
Yeah.
to think about cutting taxes.
Yeah.
It's just so wrong-headed, and yet
Yeah.
that's the person that runs the state.
Right. We need that revenue desperately.
Yeah.
Mississippi is poor. Jackson is sliding. The library system is
Oh.
ridiculous. A newsstand is more relevant than the average library in Jackson.
And as I understand that, the county takes care of the county has the ownerships, but the cities that the libraries are in are responsible for the upkeep. So when like the Eudora Welty downtown,
Yes.
which is mine, which is long closed now,
Yeah.
but that was the city of Jackson that got to pay to get that mold out of there. That's the city of Jackson got to pay to get the air conditioning finished.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think? I mean, you mean to tell me that how much could that possibly cost?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, the books are so horrible. They're so old. I went in there and I looked at their business section, which was quite small, a lot smaller than mine, my personal
Right.
book collection, and They had the oldest things. They were books from the early 1980s. You know, computer books, MS-DOS.
Yeah,
You know,
MS-DOS.
floppy disk. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This was horrible." It was so embarrassing.
And like the Mississippi, that fits in well though, because the director of Mississippi Human Services, Bob, the guy that took over when they arrested the other guy,
Okay.
Bob Anderson, he said that Human Services computer system running on COBOL. You can't make this stuff up, people. I mean, this is why we're sizzling in Mississippi.
Yeah.
They invest in crazy stuff, and they don't invest in the basic stuff that'll help people establish a foundation and grow as a people and get educated as a people. And they just they just not down with that.
Yeah. We have to uplift people educationally. Yeah. But that would make people less tolerant of the status quo.
Yeah, it sure would.
Yeah.
But we also need to make sure children don't go to bed in the state hungry.
Hungry or sick.
And we've got, even right here in Jackson, we've got 2 different wards that don't have any grocery stores in the wards.
Yeah.
So now maybe if you're a rich person and you got a fine automobile, you could just jump in there, or you call to Uber Eats or whatever, or go to whatever, DoorDash or whatever.
But you can in those neighborhoods. They're too poor.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
it just, the idea that people could let it come to that.
Yeah.
And then they do surveys that we reported here one night where, I don't know, something like 38 or 40% of 17 and below were reporting food insufficiency.
Yes. Yes.
Not that they're starving, but they're not getting enough.
No, they're not. And they're malnourished.
And
The food
how
they
does
get
that
is
impact
insufficient.
education? How does that impact
You
culturalization?
can't learn when you're hungry.
And yeah, it's just
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. Makes you more susceptible to illness.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be back with you next Monday night. Was thinking of maybe asking Robert Johnson if he might come back over here and kind of give us, or Zakiya Summers, or I don't think she's been here yet, and give us an update, you know, right up to the minute of what's going on with all these bills.
Yes.
And the nonsense over there, and maybe some good stuff that's trickling out. Who knows?
Sure.
And they could
We'd
let
love
us
to
know.
hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take good care, everybody. We'll see you back next week. We good? Thank you, Adelia.
Thank you.